Love is that confidence. Love is what you give your children. Love is what you give. Let me tell you another thing about the Matrix. Going back to the Matrix, is that I was always confused about it. I always thought that, the Matrix was battling the enemy out there, picking them out. I'm gonna find those enemies, I'm gonna get that enemy, until I realized that until you conquer the enemy in yourself, you can't deal with anyone. In order to be used by God, you have to really be used. We always want to be used for the glorious jobs. Let God put me on the stage in front of the people in the Grammy show with a nice dress on. Let me just praise your name. But that's not being used. Sometimes in order to be used, you also have to be humiliated. You have to be humiliated sometimes. You have to be kicked and beaten. And in that situation, the person who's kicking and beating, he's feeling more pain than you are. Love is an incredible thing, and we don't know love like we should. We always talk about, I have unconditional love. Unconditional love is, we don't even know it, because if a person stops stimulating us, we stop loving them. You're not interesting to talk to anymore. Goodbye. But that real love that sometimes is difficult, difficult to have, that's that love. And that's a confidence builder. Thank you.
Hey, so for some reason, love and the topic of love has been heavily implanted in my mind for the last few days. And there's a clip that I really want to put in this video from Lauryn Hill, where she's speaking on love and her perspective. And it's just one simple, sorry, not simple, it's just one singular perspective. And I'm sure she probably has many more things to say on it. And this was taken from many years ago, but I had a few things that I wanted to say. And the first thing is that to know love is to know sorrow, to know pain. To know healing is to know pain. To know happiness, to know joy is to know sadness and heartache. And to know God, you must know the bad. And to know the light, you must know the dark. And it just goes back to the fact of duality and the fact that in order to love, we must accept the whole of something and not just a fragment of something. Because you can't love a fragment of a being or a quality of a being and say that you love that person, but you only love the quality, because they are more than just the quality that you admire. They are more than just the quality that you love. They are also the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's the good, the bad, and the ugly that has enabled them to, vibrate within all vibrate within all the good elements of themselves. And to love a person based on a singular quality, basically it's again loving the self on a singular quality. It's a direct reflection back on yourself, and the fact of not loving yourself for the wholeness of who you are and the completeness of who you are. Because if you was able to accept your shadow, accept your good, bad and ugly, you'd be able to see the good and the bad and the ugly in somebody else, and how that elevates that being, and how that makes that person absolutely unique and absolutely beautiful and absolutely amazing. The same as your good, bad and ugly have created you to be the being that you are. You wouldn't be able to smile on a good day if you didn't cry on a bad day. if you didn't have the experience of knowing what a bad day is. And it's important that we are accepting the all. I just want to say accepting the all. Because in the all is yourself, and in the all is everybody else and everything. And it's really what I really need to say is just to love yourself and to go back to loving yourself. Because as child, before we are tainted by society, there isn't like a need to love the self because you're pure. It's just, you're just expressing naturally and innately. And there isn't this desire to be loved or to be liked or to know what dislike is, or to know what it is to be disliked, because obviously as a child, children can still dislike things. However, it's not in terms of knowing that this is something to dislike and this is something to like. It's an understanding that as a child there's this innate natural understanding of duality, and things are on a spectrum. You know, things can taste good and things can taste bad. We can get hurt or we can get comfort. We can put our hand in the fire or we can stay away from flaming hot things, you know. And children have this natural understanding, but as we get older, it's almost that we just get so caught up, again, going back to the perceptions of other people that we spoke about in a previous video. We get so caught up in the perceptions of other people that our like and dislike for ourselves is completely taken outside of us. So for us to, what I'm trying to say is that for us to like or dislike ourselves, it doesn't come from us and what we decide about ourselves to be true, or what we know about ourselves to be true. It comes from other people. We allow other people to dictate whether we are good, bad or ugly, whether we are beautiful or not. How does an opinion of somebody else change whether you are beautiful or not, change whether you are good or not, change whether you know yourself or not? It doesn't. It really doesn't. And we must love ourselves. And we must love ourselves before loving somebody else. We must love ourselves before trying to love somebody else. We must love ourselves before trying to love somebody else. Because this is just what I know, but it's also coming to me from spirit, from energy as well. When we are going out and trying to find somebody to be in a relationship with, and we haven't done the work to love ourselves, we're going out for somebody else. Basically what you're going out doing is trying to find somebody to do the work on you that you should have done on yourself. Looking for a surgeon to fix your life, to fix the voids, to fill the voids that really only we can fill. And in that can be very damaging, because whilst this individual can help you and can help you maybe come to yourself and find yourself, when they leave, what happens then? Do they take with them all the things that they filled you with? Most likely. And in fact, I'm hearing yes, because what it is the things that they're giving you are not physical things. They are, I don't know how to say it, but my go-to is always, and spirit always gives me energetically, spiritually. They are feeding you. They're not physically giving you things. They're not physically giving you something to fix the voids within yourself. They are spiritually doing it. But in doing that, they are doing it because basically, when you get with somebody, they have certain parts of themselves that are full, but they also have their own voids. And you also have certain parts of yourself that are full, and you also have your own voids. And in the going out and searching for this partner, it's searching for somebody that doesn't have the things that you have, and vice versa. So when you're coming together, this person is filling you with themselves, basically, with their inner self, and the parts of themselves that are full that you don't have. They are filling you with it. So because they're not physically giving it you and it's energetically happening, when they are leaving, they take those things with them and you're left empty again, which is why many people after a relationship are quick to go find another. You heard the saying, to get over somebody is to get under somebody else, or something like that. And really, the reason why this is happening, the reason why people are so hung up on always being in a relationship and never satisfied with the self and being with the self, is because they haven't done the self inner work to really love themselves, to really know who they are, to fill their voids on their own. Nobody in this world knows you better than yourself, so how can they do your inner work for you? No one can do your inner work for you. You have to do it yourself. And Lauryn Hill is a perfect example. She is an individual who knew herself from the very beginning. She didn't need filling from anybody else. And because in that not needing to be filled, came the envy, came the people that wanted her to rely on them. She didn't need to rely on them. They wanted her to rely on them. She was already full. She didn't need filling. She didn't need to go out and seek validation from other people, to seek love from other people. She had it within herself. But that's all. Peace and love. Ashe.